The Walking Dead with Joel and Jeremy. My name is Joel. This is Jeremy.
We are brought to you by Comeuppance Network. You can check out all of our social media links at thishishowtowatchtv.com. Don't do that. And you can email us directly at thishishowtowatchtv@gmail.com. Twitter. Talk to us about anything, any of the TV shows, even shows that we're not watching. Let us know. I mean, if you want us to watch it,
iTunes
check it out.
And YouTube, because there's the video versions on YouTube and the audio versions on iTunes. They're separated by show. So if you want to just subscribe to How to Watch TV, The Walking Dead, you can do that. If you want to do The Leftovers or Chronologically Lost or Game of Thrones or any of the other ones that we're doing, subscribe on there as well. So we are back. We took a week hiatus because of a vacation to Disney, and we are back now with The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 2, JSS.
We didn't get to go to the Universal Studios, like Walking Dead themed.
Was there a Walking Dead
themed
theme?
Yeah, well, they had the Walking Dead posters hanging up. Yeah, it was like supposed to be like zombie. You didn't see some of the stuff set up there?
I did.
That was like crashed cars. It was roped off. That was all going to be part of that stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn. We missed that day.
We couldn't take it because of the kids. It would have been. We went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party instead.
I would have much rather gone to the Walking Dead thing. That would have been
but that's cooler. We couldn't have done that because it was supposed to be like really scary, like not like try to scare us scary, not not appropriate for children.
Not appropriate for kids. Fair enough.
Right.
So we start with Enid's origin to Alexandria. How
she
got there. Mm-hmm. She and her family apparently survived Operation Cobalt, which I'm assuming was a nationwide thing. You
don't think it was just in that area?
No, I think that was a military operation.
Yeah, but how are they still communicating? Weren't communications down at that point?
Yeah, but Operation Cobalt was before everything went down. That was that was what we saw in Fear the Walking Dead. Operation Cobalt was that, the day that the military bailed out. So they survived that somehow, her and her parents.
Okay.
And they managed to bring fuses with them. Who the hell thinks to bring extra fuses for your car?
Right, but it didn't work.
They didn't do it in time. And then boom, I loved the smash cut to her in the car. Like, Mom, look out. And then she's there crying, and there's blood everywhere, and it's just like...
She's watching them eat her parents?
And then she kept writing JSS everywhere. And then she was... That eating the turtle was one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen on the show. I could not watch.
I was grossed out by that.
Right?
I was watching that on the fucking plane, dude.
Ugh.
I was like...
Sawyer's sitting next to you like, turtle!
He was!
Turtle!
I was like... I honest to God, I covered his face during that. And he was like, trying to push my hand out of the way. I was like, dude, no, you can't... And like I'm looking around the plane, like making sure nobody else can see this disgusting mess going on. But it was, that was gross.
I couldn't watch that.
That was really gross.
That's one of these scenes in this show that I looked away. Some of the more gruesome zombie eating innards things I'll look away because I don't need gore. That's not why I'm into this show.
Yeah, me either. Like, go ahead.
Carol is manipulating. I don't know what she's after exactly, except maybe to toughen people up.
I think that's what she's trying to do.
Used to beat you, and now he got killed.
She's trying to spread Rick's message, like
she's being a disciple of Rick.
Yeah,
okay,
right. The school of Rick Grimes.
Ron doesn't want to talk to his mom. She asked him to raise his arm above his head. Did we see how that happened? That he wasn't able to lift his arm above his head? Was that because of like the stuff that happened out when they were burying his dad?
No, that was stuff that happened because of his dad.
Oh, because his dad was beating him. I see.
Broke his arm or something when he was a kid.
She was just proving that his dad was dangerous. That's what it was. Right. And that Rick is her friend, and he wants nothing to do with Rick.
Right.
Maggie is trying to expand Alexandria with a garden.
Right.
And she's trying to bring Deanna back from the other side, of her depression or whatever. Right. Denise is the new doctor. She's nice enough.
Mm-hmm. What happened to the old doctor? Who was the old doctor?
The old doctor was her husband.
That's right.
He got his throat slit.
He got his throat slit by
Paul.
By Paul.
Right? Wasn't it
No.
Paul? Not Paul. Pete. Yeah, Pete.
Right.
Eugene doesn't want to waste a big building on a church.
Right.
Gabriel asked for Carl's help learning how to defend himself. And Carl was just like, you know what, fine. Like, he seems like a good kid. He's going to take over for Rick. He has to someday.
It's going to happen at some point. Right.
I mean, they picked it up for season 7. I don't know if you heard. Not that it was in any doubt, really.
Well, come on. Yeah.
It's the highest rated show on TV presently. Right. Carl didn't look too bothered by Enid hugging Ron. I don't think he was, like, jealous.
I think Ron is.
I think he was upset that she's trying to say she's leaving.
Right. He's trying to talk her out of it.
That was another on her goodbye tour, right?
Right.
Is that what that was? Because I thought for a second she was consoling Ron, but I think it was her saying she was leaving to him. So we get Carol, and she's cooking and watching Judith on the baby monitor as Alexandria gets attacked. The machete woman... So she sets the timer for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay? Machete attack on the smoker outside. Molotov cocktails hitting the guy on the on the wall. And then it's the W people, which people... If we
so how did they get in? Could they just climb it over the wall?
I have a question to you that are watching or listening to this. Have they in this show said the term wolves?
Don't think they have.
Because it's bullshit if people because we were watching, I watched Talking Dead after the most recent episode, and they were calling them the wolves as if that's a common term in the show. So tell me, has that happened in the series, or are people being assholes and spoiling stuff from the comics? That's all.
Because we haven't met this group yet, per se.
We saw the W, but this is the first they're the W people.
This is the first we've seen of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, we saw them.
Well, I'm talking about in
action.
We've seen remnants. We've seen the zombie trap.
Yeah.
We've seen all that, but we haven't seen who's doing this and why they're following whoever W is.
Yeah.
Or why this group is doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trapping up zombies inside of the truck trailers and all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and marking them all.
They're the ones that
how are they getting them to let them carve their fucking... Is these people they killed and then carve the thing and then they come back?
Yeah. I don't know. Carl is guarding the house.
They were just chopping people up.
Oh, dude. Yeah, they're savages,
violent,
seemingly.
Yeah.
That shot of the bike and the puddle of blood. That was pretty crazy. So what, they killed a kid?
Yeah, absolutely. They were just killing everybody, dude. It didn't matter.
Jessie and her kid hide in the closet.
From that little cooking, the little gathering that the women had with Carol, and they were all talking about the cooking. Like all those women got killed in that attack,
except for the big one. Remember, because she was in the
okay, maybe she didn't. Right, she didn't get killed
with the gun behind the door.
The rest of them got killed. She walked past them, and they were the axe to the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She sliced the other one in the stomach, and Carol held her while she bled out.
Yeah, and the other one she walked past was dead in her front yard with just her face split open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enid comes into Carl's house, and she wants to say goodbye. She says the place is too big to protect, and he says, don't tell him goodbye, and she says, I won't. But they're sitting back to back, so is that they have such different views of the world at this point? Here's the thing. Could she be a wolf? Could she be a W person infiltrating?
That could be. Enid?
Yeah. Could she have been in on this?
That'd be the perfect...
Because she walks around as if nothing's happening.
She did during the whole attack.
Yeah. So
maybe she knew they wouldn't attack her.
I don't know. Maybe. It just
But it seemed like they were just going... Well, another takeaway from this episode was that... what's his name is a badass.
Who? Morgan? Well, yeah, duh.
He's a badass with his staff.
I liked Carl's hair better last season. It seems to have grown to a weird thing, and they cut his bangs off, and it looks strange.
He's got the little emo swoop going on.
Then it's super long right next to it, straight. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Again, last season better. Then we get stabby, chainy, just fucking death everywhere, just killing people.
Stabby, chainy.
Stabby, chainy, just choking people out with it and smashing them with chains. And then Carol mercy kills the woman who got gutted. And Deanna's son is a terrible shot, we find out.
Right.
And then we see what the horn was. The W people crashed a semi into the wall of Alexandria. Mm-hmm. And Denise is trying to save somebody, but she fails. Morgan shuts off the horn and leaves Deanna's son behind because he's a pussy. And then it was why is Morgan the only one back? Where the fuck were the rest of them for this whole hour?
How did he get back so fast? Or
because when when Carter got his face bitten off, he told Morgan to go back. He sent him back then.
Okay.
And they stayed to deal with whatever was going on there.
Right.
So that's why he's back. But it seemed like the horn was going off very shortly after that. So they couldn't have been far from there. So why didn't they run back right away?
Right.
But I guess we see that in the next.
Why they didn't run back? Because they're trying. He was trying to keep the plan going.
Yeah.
Right.
we get Morgan versus the Axeman, and he's like, quick or slow? And he's just like, leave, please.
Yeah.
He's like, gonna be slow. And then Carol comes in looking like an actual badass hooded Jedi.
Yeah.
With a W on her forehead, and she comes in and takes Axeman out, and she realizes that they don't have guns or they'd be using them. She tells Morgan.
What did he say? But what did he say? We don't have to kill people?
Morgan doesn't want to kill people.
He said we don't have to kill people. She said, of course we do.
Yeah, of course. What's the matter with you?
Right.
Deanna, I like first season Morgan better. He was even crazy Morgan was cool, but like this Morgan, the pacifist Morgan, he's gonna get some people killed by not killing people, if that makes sense.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Come bringing him back to the world we live in.
Yeah, he's got to snap out of this bullshit.
Because there's no way. These people are savages. You're not going to be able to reason with these with the wolves or whatever they're called. Are we refusing to call them that?
Yeah.
Until we hear it on the show?
Yeah, I'm just calling them the W people. Because that's all we know. I think that's really shitty if they're just talking about it like it's like we have to.
Like we're supposed to already have known that.
Deanna wants to stay out of the fight. Her and her son hide in the truck, or near the truck. They're gonna die, right? Like, please.
This is the one where her husband got murdered, right? Or Rick shot her husband?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, Deanna. Deanna was the leader of the Alexandria. Her husband got her throat. And
her husband is the.
But her son is the pussy by the truck that didn't want to go with Morgan, and so he stays there with her. And let's see, Denise is still trying to save the person, but she's afraid, and Eugene tells her she doesn't want to be a coward. He knows. And then we get Ron being chased, but Carl saves him, and then he refuses help because of their dad's dumb. You're dumb, Ron.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You're gonna get killed because of
it. Jesse fucking rage murders one of the W women in their house with the hair scissors. Like as Ron walks in and just like, watches from the background as his mom just keeps stabbing her. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
She lost her shit finally, and she's ready to embrace this world.
Embrace the Book of Rick.
Yeah, exactly. The Book of Rick.
What do we call it? The Book of Rick? The School of Rick? Whatever you want to call it.
Book of Rick. That sounds
The
cool.
Book of Rick? Even though there is no book, it's just...
The world's going to need Rick Grimes.
The new world needs Rick Grimes, right.
Morgan saves Gabriel.
I'm going to make up a crest or something like that.
Right.
The fucking Book of Rick with the fucking, some sort of cool logo or something, make it on a t-shirt.
The hat.
Right. His hat, you kind of like our... the TOG logo?
Yeah.
I'll do something like that.
Yeah, you can
but
do
it'd be like, the hat or,
okay.
a fucking gun or something to represent, fucking put a walker on there or something. Book of Rick, baby.
Morgan saves Gabriel. Why? I guess he loves people, so whatever. Carol made it to the armory. Morgan ties up the guy that was attacking Gabriel.
Is there a bigger tool on the show right now than Gabriel?
No, I don't think so. No,
it was the dude that Rick shot.
Yeah.
He was a big tool.
Yeah.
And he was but Gabriel's the hugest.
Okay, so Morgan ties up the guy that was attacking Gabriel, and he says, I had to rewind it a few times and put on subtitles. My friend, the trap, you need to know, people don't belong here anymore. What the fuck is the trap? Is the trap the pit?
Who says that?
The guy, the black guy that Morgan stopped from killing Gabriel. They had him tied up, and then Carol came in and shot him.
Right.
But he said, my friend, the trap, you need to know, people don't belong here anymore. Like he had some information that they don't. That there's some trap around there. So maybe they're talking about the pit? Just a thought. I don't know what other trap they can mean. Unless they're talking about like the one where they had the zombies in the containers and the.
I bet you there's more than one of those traps.
There has to be
like
a bunch of traps. So, I don't know. Carol puts a bullet in his head and hands out guns, and Morgan gives his to Gabriel because he's a pussy.
Because Gabriel's a pussy, or Morgan?
I don't know. Morgan is annoying me with his bow staff crap only. I mean, just use a gun. Be done with it. Aaron is getting the hang of this. He's starting to, kill some people when he needs to, and take out zombies and stuff.
And Aaron is
the gay guy that was recruiting.
Gotcha. All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. 5 W's.
He embracing.
Yeah, he's embracing the Book of Rick.
Okay.
The 5 W's surround Morgan, and he tells him to leave, and that his people have guns. And like, look, if you keep choosing this life, you're gonna die.
Right.
And they're like, we didn't choose. So like, I want to know what the Book of W is.
Yeah, me too. I want to know what that is.
Their belief is.
Right. We didn't choose, so like, see who is leading these people? I'd like to know. I think are we gonna get that? You think?
I It's the governor. No, he's dead, but it would be cool if it was
Right.
the governor. They leave, but not before taking a gun off of a corpse.
So he's got one gun.
Yeah, and Morgan shuts the gate. And there's definitely something here that we don't know that will reveal the W's motivation.
Well, you see the gun pop up later
Yeah.
in the next episode.
Yeah, and it comes back to haunt him already.
Yeah, but Rick takes care of it.
Oh, he doesn't actually shoot anybody. He tries to
He
shoot
tries to
Rick.
shoot Rick, and
Okay.
Rick kills both those guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he's a fucking badass,
Yes,
dude.
of course.
I mean,
Cop.
I mean, seriously. Come on. Cops aren't super skilled in hand-to-hand combat
Fair
like that.
enough.
This shit is learned since he's been doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, he took like both of those dudes out, no fucking problem. Finally, was able to get his gun out. And he's like, boom, boom. That was it. I was like, oh shit, dude. Rick Grimes is the fucking man, dude. The Book of Rick. Anyway, go on.
Okay, so Carol she grabs a pack of smokes off the lady that died outside smoking, that she told to go outside and smoke.
Right.
And was she grabbing them for Daryl? She doesn't smoke, does she?
Maybe she's gonna start.
She tries to wipe the W off her forehead as she notices an A on the porch. What the fuck was that about? There was an A written in blood, seemingly, or in red, on the porch.
Maybe there was something the W people were marking the houses for something, or
Like something.
or maybe they're just like armory.
Alive. Any
I don't know
number
if she
of
was in the
things.
armory.
She starts crying, and then we see Aaron stabbing.
Carol does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see Aaron stabbing heads of corpses. So he's,
Yeah.
and then he finds a backpack with pictures of Alexandria in it. So his trips out to find people directly led to them finding Alexandria. That was his backpack. Those were his pictures. Him losing his backpack out there directly led to this attack.
Oh, so that was his backpack.
That's his bad.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So
Okay,
he
so they
feels bad.
but how
about
did they
that.
not? How did the W already knew where Alexandria was? You don't think
Apparently
so?
not. Look at how they went after him when they found out it was there.
How do you know that wasn't just a plan?
The backpack thing is in the past couple
Okay.
weeks.
All right.
Because that was once they got, when they got there, and they said they've only been there for 3 weeks because there was a couple, the people that came back from a mission that said they were out and about, Heath and whatnot.
He said they'd been gone for 2 weeks, so we
Yeah.
figured
That there's about a 2-week period.
2 week,
that they've
3
been
week
in
period that they've been in
Alexandria.
Alexandria. Okay.
But that's fucked up that his scouting missions led to their demise in a way.
Yeah, but
Not
is
to
that
their
his
demise,
fault?
but-
His fault or nah?
No, but I mean, it's one of those things where he's going to have to live with that now.
Yeah.
That's going to change him.
Yeah. Okay.
Denise is doing chest compressions, no dice. She wants everyone to leave. I don't know. That was probably just her coping with her first death, I would think. Her first...
Yeah, because she's...
It being her responsibility kind of thing. Deanna's son figures out this is how it is now. Like, he's finally starting to get it. Like, it's starting to click
Makes
for
sense.
him. Yeah. Carl cows
Well,
up.
another thing that was a little reassuring was, dude, like when he was driving the semi at the wall, I thought that fucker was coming down.
Yeah, that the wall's that sturdy.
The wall withstood
A
a semi truck, which was...
And we know what semis can do according
that's
to
pretty good.
Leftovers.
Right.
In the episode of Leftovers.
The semi.
Semi.
Oh, come on.
Carl calls out for Enid only to find her note that says just survive somehow, so we figure out what JSS means.
Right.
Just survive somehow. So, I mean, it makes me think that she isn't one of the W's, because why would she care? She seems to care about Carl, even though she's very stoic.
Right.
I think that's just a defense mechanism because of her parents and everybody she's lost.
Because everything that's happened to her, right. She's been on her own now. She ate a fucking turtle.
Yeah, crazy.
Raw.
Raw. The timer goes
I
off.
mean, there is such thing as fire. You could make a
Right?
fire and cook that motherfucker.
The timer goes off in the kitchen, meaning this all happened in 60 minutes. This whole
Yeah.
attack all went
Yeah.
down in 60 minutes. So Morgan, who was attacked by a W, who says, "You can't, can you?" Like, meaning kill him. And he goes, "You should have." And then I think he didn't want to, but he did kill him. He even apologized. Like, do you think he killed him when he hit him in the head like that?
I don't know.
Or do you think he just knocked him
Just
out?
knocked him out.
But he left
That's
him
the
in there in Alexandria. He can't do that. It doesn't make any sense.
What?
He couldn't have not killed him and then
Well,
apologized.
they're going to capture him now and try to get
fair
info
enough,
from him.
maybe. He passes Carol on the street as we get this cool drone shot of Alexandria. And
Dude, I
Morgan
just totally
walking
had a
along.
vision.
What's that?
I don't, for some reason, like, you might be right about Glenn.
Yeah. the way the shot was.
Well, because that dude could have been laying on top of it.
That's what I'm saying. We'll get
and
there.
Then covered.
We're right. Oh, we're at the end of this episode.
Right.
So this show did not have one scene with Rick, Daryl, Michonne, Glenn, Abraham, or Sasha. So anybody who thinks that any of those characters are essential and can't be killed off you better reconsider.
Right.
Because this episode was great.
It was awesome.
It was none of our mains, really.
Right.
I mean, a couple.
Carol and Morgan
carried it.
Yeah, but I mean, they weren't even in every scene.
Yeah.
Carl was very brief throughout the episode, but still, great stuff. Yes, it was awesome.
This sort of attack is what happened last season to Noah's hometown. This is what the W's do.
Okay. Noah
was Everybody Hates Chris.
Okay, that's what he said.
When they went to his hometown and it was all burned out,
yeah.
Remember? He was like, it was a gated community.
Yeah.
And it was just, everything was torched.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
The W's.
The W's were there.
Okay, all right.
That's what they do. Somehow they're trying to take out society.
They're just like a savage mob, right? That follows some crazy man.
The other question coming out of this one is, we never saw Judith at the end. Did Enid take her? She could have been a W that was there to steal the baby.
What do you mean we didn't see Judith at the end?
We didn't see Judith. We saw Judith on the baby monitor when Carol set up the timer, when she started it. 60 minutes later, we didn't see the baby monitor. So we don't know if Judith is safe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Maybe Enid took off with the baby.
Could be.
It'd be a hell of a story to follow up on.
Yeah. And then it's another little girl that Carol has to kill.
Yeah. So, season 6, episode 3, thank you.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it was called. Thank you.
Shit.
That's why I text you. Thank
you. Wow.
So we see Rick's side of the horn. He knows they aren't all going to make it, and he seems particularly pessimistic.
Right.
But he's right. Again,
well, no shit.
They weren't going to, and they need to get back. And the dummies there just keep shooting and sucking at living. Like all the people from Alexandria, they're just dumb, and they should die.
Right.
Daryl wants to stop.
Which is exactly what Rick said.
Yeah, I mean, he's
even
totally
last season, and they gave a little speech when he was screaming on his knees with band-aids all over his face. That's exactly what he was saying.
Yeah, yeah. Nobody wants.
Or was it a conversation with Daryl? Maybe it was that he was talking about. He's just like in black and white.
Yeah.
He's like, these people are all stupid.
Yeah.
And they're all gonna die. You know, like
they don't know
basically
how to live
they don't
out
know
there.
how to. They right.
Well,
he just can't help but be right about everything.
I know, right? Daryl wants to stop at 5 miles out and go back and help with whatever, and the magic number's 20. That's what
they want to get the herd 20 miles out.
He sees a sign for Alexandria and decides to bail out. So the guy who got scratched says finding his wife brought him back to being a person.
He got bit.
Yeah, well, a scratch bit, whatever, something on his shoulder.
It bit the shit out of him on his shoulder, right?
Okay. Well, at that moment, Michonne was thinking about how Andrea did the same for her.
Yeah, see, like I don't know. Even though he was like a throwaway dude,
yeah.
I hate to call it like that,
yeah.
but he was kind of cool the way he was like when they all looked at him. He was like, "I know what it means,
yeah,
but I got time still. I'm gonna I'll help until I can." Right?
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. You know, instead of him just being like
and
what's his face? Like,
I
understand like. What's his face got bit in the face? Like so I'd be screaming like that too. But he just totally went into pussy mode.
About it,
And when this dude was like,
"Okay,
all right, I know what it means. I'm done. If you can get this note to my wife, get it to her." You know.
But that story humanized him, and it was a tie-in to like the characters that we know. Michonne definitely had to be thinking of how, because she was in the woods with the dudes on the chains. You know, remember? Right. That was where she
like her
was
brothers,
at. She
right?
was lost, and Alexandria brought her back
was her
from
brothers
that.
or cousins or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
They were like raping her,
or they
something
got
like
her
that.
kid killed, or something. I can't remember.
I can't remember what they did to her, but yeah, she carried them like that because of that.
They look for a car, and this is near where Noah died. The kid in the hat ran off and is now being eaten.
Yeah, knew that was going to happen.
Nicholas is leading them around, but doesn't seem to know where he's going. There shouldn't there be dead pets in the cages? Is what I was thinking when they went through the store. The pets there were.
They showed some skeletons.
Oh, I didn't see anything.
Yeah,
in the
they
cages.
showed that.
Okay,
it was two shots. It was like 2 shots. Like I was looking for like fish tanks and stuff too. I wanted to see like
zombie
greened
fish.
over fish, not zombie fish, because we haven't seen that yet, so I don't think that's a thing.
That animals,
the animal zombies. I don't think that's a thing. Okay. I really don't, because we haven't seen a zombie. We've seen something like that by now, right? We've seen. Haven't we seen like a pack of dogs or something?
Yeah.
Didn't we?
No, that was leftovers. Yeah, no, we saw a pack of dogs because they ate them.
That's right.
They ate the dogs.
They ate the dogs. See, but we haven't seen zombie dogs. No. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, that's
not a thing. That's an unknown.
So
but there was dead animals
here.
in cages, just to be fair.
Yeah, he wants to burn a store. He thinks drawing all the walkers there is a good idea.
Yeah. Which now they're being pursued by part of the herd.
Yes.
Okay.
So Rick is,
and then they run into whatever was in that town as well. So they get surrounded, basically.
Well, Rick is running down the road, and Glenn radios and tells him what's up.
I mean, booking.
Rick is just hacking and slashing and looting bodies. Like, he's fucking shit up.
But he's and all at the same time, like, running at full fucking speed.
Yep.
That was awesome, dude.
The two that aren't injured say to leave them behind. The two that are injured say to leave them behind, which I thought was noble of them.
Noble.
And then
also noble of the people to be like, no nobody's even left behind. We're going.
Heath heard what Rick said, and he's like, you don't know shit. You don't know shit about what Rick's up to. And, yeah. Nicholas and Glenn found a guy who was on his crew. He sees him, as a walker.
Like, pinned down by
and then we hear gunshots. And then Rick got the RV from the path.
Mm-hmm.
Michonne killed a couple walkers in the store, and now the herd is there. So they're basically fucked, it seems like. And then Nicholas took Glenn to a burned down building, and there are walkers everywhere. So the building he wanted to burn down is already
burned down.
Yeah. Because he said it was a feed store, so everything would burn quickly.
Yeah,
and
so that happened already.
So Glenn and Nicholas are on the dumpster. Or no, they look to be dead at this point. Like, the herd is coming at them, and you're
surrounded.
Just like, they're gone.
They're surrounded on the other side.
There's
a bunch of them on the other side of the fence that they try to climb. There's no way, like, onto the roof of the building. I was, like, looking.
And then
like,
we just cut away.
I'm trying to glance, like, dude, Glenn, just, like, jump onto the air conditioner over there and climb on top of the roof. Anything, something. But it was just like...
Michonne barely makes it over the fence.
Dude, here, my brain is going like this. Like, jump on top of the fence and, like, fucking, like, pole walk on. But all the walkers are shaking the fence. Yeah, there's no way.
Perfect.
Right.
So Michonne barely makes it over the fence, and Glenn manages to get on a dumpster, and then Nicholas is losing it. He's just kind of like wobbling around, and then he says thank you and blows his fucking brains out, and he falls backwards. It's like if Glenn was standing behind him facing the same way. He fell down on top of Glenn.
That's what it looked like.
So this shot here, if you notice, it's when Glenn's laying there and they're ripping the guts seemingly out of him.
Yeah.
It's got to be Nicholas's stuff. Now, I'm not saying that Glenn can make it out of there plausibly, but at this point, look at him. There's no blood coming out of his mouth. Anytime anybody's ever been ripped open, blood immediately is pouring out of their mouth. Like, it's splattered on him at this point.
That could go back to
season 1 or whatever,
where they use the camouflage.
Except that when they're eating through it, they're not going to stop when they get through Nicholas. There's too many. They're going to all be feeding on Nicholas, and you think he's just going to hide underneath a corpse that's being eaten? Like, he has to either get under the dumpster. Oh, and it's Nicholas's
blood, so it's not like it's...
It's not even Walker blood.
It's not Walker blood.
It's fresh blood.
It's fresh blood. So, yeah, they would just... I think he's dead, man.
I mean, I don't think there's a way out of it.
I think we... Like, the camera shot was kind of curious. I get that, but I think we lost Glenn.
I think
he was screaming in pain.
We're gonna get more of him.
I even saw it was like almost like they ripped his shoulder. Like, I don't know. I guess it's possible, but we'll have to see.
Somebody would have to come in and take out 1,000 walkers, which is not plausible to save him.
It doesn't seem like it's gonna be. And the way they lingered on it, and they kind of like panned up, and he was screaming, and the blood.
But that wasn't a great death. And another thing that, of course, they can't help but mention is that his death in the comics was like a big spectacle. And that it was coming up relatively soon, but it wasn't like this. So maybe it's a fake out and he does die again, but I don't know. I'm of the mindset that even if what we saw was a clever camera shot to show us what seemed to be his guts being ripped out, I don't think those were his guts, but I don't see how he lives. Sadly, I don't see how he makes it out of it. What would be nice to find out is that Maggie is pregnant.
with his son or with
that's
with
the
a kid.
only thing that can salvage that for me anyway. Is like if we get some glimmer of hope
that's
out
going
of
to
it.
be. I felt the emotion there. Like, oh man, they got to tell Maggie.
Yeah.
After that scene, I was just
that.
like, oh man, now they have to tell Maggie that Glenn didn't make it. And you can even see Rick, even though how hard he is, when he was like, Glenn.
Yeah, because he tried to radio Glenn.
Yeah, and like kind of slammed the steering wheel, like.
And then he said he's going to Sasha and Abraham. He said he was coming there. And we got Michonne, Heath, and injured black guy make it to a stream, and then so that fucking guy that got the gun that Morgan let live tries to kill Rick, and Rick kills both him and another guy and finds a bottle of baby food. Which, what do you think the symbolism of that is? Do you think it was that he found some food for his baby, or that it was theirs at one point and these people took it from them and he got it back now? You think there was any significance to that jar of baby food?
No, except for maybe the fact that he knew they were in Alexandria at that point.
Oh, okay. Maybe
that was the same dude with the gun, bro.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's the same guy with the gun.
You were texting on that part.
I'm sorry. Yes, that was the same guy with the gun.
So they must have grabbed it from somewhere.
Maybe they grabbed it from the house while looting. They grabbed it from.
Yeah, so he's like, oh shit, that's his realization that they've been in Alexandria. That's the significance.
That's the significance. He realized that they were there. Right?
Moore try to sneak up on him, and he unloads on them automatic weapon style through the side of the RV, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, right? And then looks in the mirror again as he's getting ready to drive away, and you can see him all dead laying there. Yeah. That looked like a little kid at first. Like the one first sneaking up one. But when they showed it again, it didn't.
No.
It was like 3 dudes laying on the ground.
Michonne finds another burned out community. And right before Daryl rejoins the procession, like he realized he needed to do that. And then the last shot that we get is Rick in the RV. And it's being swarmed by the herd. Where does he go?
On the roof.
Is that it? Is that it for Rick?
Well, the herd has an end. So if he got on the roof of the RV, possibly could wait it out.
Tear apart the RV trying to get to him?
We've never actually seen him do that. Tear it to the ground?
Well, not tear it to the ground, but go inside and like be reaching through the thing and maybe push it over potentially. You know,
that could potentially happen. Yeah, I guess.
If enough got on one side, but more than likely they'd surround it because we had the thing in season 2 with the RV, Dale's RV, where that got taken over by the walkers at the farm.
Yeah, right. But they didn't tip it over or anything.
No, I can't remember exactly what happened.
Yeah, but that looked like a pretty dire situation he was in. Plus, the door was like busted open. He couldn't like close the door and like hide.
So he's gonna have to climb up through the thing.
He has to climb up, get it off the roof.
Right. Shit, how are they gonna get him out of there?
I don't know.
Because I mean, that's thousands of walkers around him now.
I think like
it was
he
coming
has to,
out of the woods like they were going into the woods.
They've showed that before, haven't they? They've showed like people just laying under vehicles, waiting for a herd to walk past.
Yes. In season 2, we got that on the highway.
Yeah,
but there was very few.
But it was still a herd. It was still quite.
Yeah,
but they still like had to like.
But then also remember in the pilot, Rick was under the tank, and they were coming after him.
Right.
So I don't know if that was pilot thing where they were just trying to figure out the rules of how they move.
Well, the underside of a tank would be a lot bigger than the underside of a car.
Okay.
Plus, if they already knew he was there, they were like chasing him at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, if they can smell Rick there.
True.
I don't know.
Is it a smell thing?
I think they can tell that there's living people around.
Yeah, I guess that's the way they camouflage themselves with their blood.
So I think this whole first 8 is going to be about this herd and
trying to
Alexandria and what they're going to do next. Because I can't wait to see what comes after that. I can't wait to see what the next 8 is. Because this one has changed so much from last year's last 8, which changed so much from the 8 before that.
I think that's their goal though, which is really awesome. The show is fantastic. Like, dude, I was like, it was 5 minutes.
So they're doing this non-linear storytelling.
Like, I can't remember what the first 5 minutes was.
The first 5 minutes was Rick and their side of the horn.
Right.
And then it was just Daryl trying to leave.
And then when the credits came on, that's when I text you.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead is spec-fucking-tacular.
Yeah,
Because it was just, I was just like, dude,
it's firing on all cylinders.
Let's go,
it's weird that, like, they're on their third showrunner. and now it's as good as ever, if not better. I mean, season 5. Somebody said season 5 left them like meh, and I was like, what?
No, season 5 was awesome.
Where did you stop watching? Because
that was
season
awesome.
5 was great. I'm like, every 8 episodes they switch it up. So if you didn't like those 8, so what? Make it through there. You'll get to 8 more.
That's why I said I'll say like the only 8 episodes I probably didn't like was like the early part of the prison.
Which I thought I was so looking forward to.
And it wasn't as great as it could be. But then once the governor busted down the wall with the tank, and then they all got split up. That's when the show really, really took off to me. Was them splitting up with the unlikely groups. Like it was Daryl and Beth, and like Tyrese and a couple that you didn't expect to be together. They had the baby. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Tyrese had the baby with Carol.
Yeah, and then Rick didn't know if Judith
had
was
no
gone.
idea.
He thought she was
so
dead.
that was just like it got really good at that point. And then they started to hear about Terminus. Yeah. And it was excellent. Excellent. I mean, or was that
the way they
Terminus?
Wrapped up
that was Terminus. I mean,
the way they wrapped that up like that in one episode, great.
Or was it? It might have been 2. They got chased through it. And then the next episode they escaped.
I don't understand what the hell Glenn's plan was here. He was going to burn a store down, and they just get themselves trapped. And I mean, like, there's no way. He was following, right?
He was following that dude, man. That dude was leading him around.
But
he was trusting
think his
that
intention was to get him killed.
No.
So what do you think he said thank you for?
That dude lost it.
What do you think he said thank you for?
For everything he tried to do for him, tried to make him.
But why? He's giving up. Like, there has to be something.
Or maybe he was a W guy that, like, all along was. But just to get Glenn killed.
Just to get Glenn. That doesn't make sense.
I don't think he was trying to. I think the dude was just the fear took over him, and he couldn't stay as calm.
He was just saying thank you for all you've done up till now.
To try.
Yeah,
thank you for trying.
You gave it a shot.
Boom. You know.
No pun intended.
Right. But he because Glenn was trying to turn him around, man, and really make him.
I didn't cry when Glenn died because it wasn't good enough death. It was not a good enough death for him.
Yeah, but
what we saw really, with Everybody Hates Chris, with Noah, with his face getting ripped apart, like, this was not an iconic death.
Yeah, I don't want to see Glenn get his face ripped off.
No, I agree, but this was not an iconic enough death. It was just like, okay, pull up. Like,
I thought it was, and the music, and they panned up slow. I don't think so. I think he's dead.
I think they said outright we will see more of Glenn to wrap up his story somehow. Maybe he already found out that she's pregnant. Maybe she already told him. Maybe we cut to yesterday morning or something, and she tells him, because we don't know how much time we skipped in between seasons. So maybe there was a.
So by them saying that, don't you think that?
I think that's sort of a spoiler, but they also said, no, they said we're going to see another shot to wrap up his arc, basically. Okay. It's not the last we see of Glenn.
So maybe he could escape from this little thing, right, and die.
Or that it's something that happened prior to all that.
Right.
Because this season has been playing with nonlinear storytelling.
Yes, it has been.
So we could start with a black and white Glenn next week.
Yeah.
And Maggie telling him, I'm pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then don't go on this mission or whatever, and he has to go anyway. And it's just the dry run. I'll be right back.
Right, and it was supposed to be, but then it goes off.
Yeah,
right.
Like all that shit could play out, and then boom, he's dead. And it didn't fully impact me yet because I haven't seen anybody deal with it. That's all it is. I'll feel it as soon as anybody else feels it.
As soon as they tell Maggie, that's when you'll be like,
yeah. She loses it, or Rick, or any of them. Yeah, like I didn't care when Lori died.
I think Rick realized it when the static on the phone. I think he knew. There's no reason Glenn wouldn't answer the microphone. He knew it. Terrible.
I mean, I hope it's not the case.
Didn't he call him? Didn't he, like the last time he spoke to him on the walkie-talkie too? He called Rick a dumbass. Just like he did the first time he spoke to him.
Yeah,
hey,
that
dumbass.
was the book ending of it.
Yeah.
That's the book ending.
See, I think he's gone.
He's got to be.
Because he said to him, or be safe, or something, dumbass.
Yeah.
Because that was like what he called him when he was in the tank. You know? After he shot the gun in the tank and he called him a dumbass after that.
If so, rest in peace, Glenn.
If so, right. Yeah, good character. Real good character.
We will be back with Season 6, Episode 4 later this week.
You got those to watch tonight.
If there's anything we missed, feel free to comment on it. Again, subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, whatever. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I wish I had thought in advance I would have done a silent end thing here.
For Glenn?
Yeah, for Glenn. Maybe I'll just mute it. Whatever.
This is how to watch TV.
See you later.
next week.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drink.